For the past 8 years, I have been setting goals like a pro. Now, the kind of goals that by the time you're done writing them down, you would already feel a sort of accomplishment. So I would usually take my notebook, I would sit down, I would map out all of my ambitions for the year, and of course, I would set off with excitement. And everything was going on well, but I noticed that something was missing with the way I set my goals, because I was only achieving some of the goals, usually like in my tech career, but then for major areas, I failed woefully. I knew that something was crucially wrong, and last year I discovered something that changed everything. Hello, welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Emmanuel, just in case you're seeing my face for the very first time. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing why everything I knew about goal setting was fundamentally wrong. So here is a mind-blowing truth. Goals are more than just check boxes. They are more like your life compass. So I'm going to explain. A goal gives you direction. A system gives you the road to get there. I know that for most of us, when we think about goals, we think about those things that we want to achieve and we just write them down, come back at the end of the year or maybe at the end of the season to tick the boxes and say that, oh yes, I did this, I did that. Now that is actually great, but more than setting goals, we also need to create systems that actually help us to achieve these goals. It is like saying, I want to travel to a place, but not checking the oil in your car, your tires, to know if everything is all right before you set on that trip. Now, systems are your daily habits, the routines, the processes that you use to actually achieve those things that you want to achieve. So I discovered recently that we are all goal-oriented, even when we think that we are not. Every single action we take is outcome-driven. We don't just do things for the fun of it. There is usually an outcome out of that particular action. So now let's dive deeper into goals. 3 things you need to know before setting goals. Number 1, goals are your compass, not your cage. I'll take that again. Goals are your compass, not your cage. Goals are not there to limit you. The fact that you set a goal doesn't mean that it must be the particular way you wrote it down or you pictured it in your head. Goals are not there to limit you. They are there to give you a sense of direction about the things that you're going to be doing. So please remember, goals are not a cage. You're not supposed to be stuck or confined within the walls of those things that you're set out to do. You can actually expand, go out of those things and do other things and even do more things. Number 2, be honest with yourself. Stop hiding behind, I don't care about numbers, I don't care about this, I don't care about that. Be honest with yourself and actually acknowledge the things that you really want, because at the end of the day, the motivation that you need to drive you to achieve your goals is going to be a lot easier if those are the things that you really want to do, or the outcomes that you really want to see. So please be very honest about what you want. Number 3, goals do not have to make you miserable. You are to compare yourself with your past self, not the impossible ideal solution or the impossible ideal situation that you have kept in your mind. So at the end of the day, most of us are usually frustrated when we do not see the things that we set as goal come to pass, and it leads to unhappiness. So you're working towards your goal, but you're unhappy. You're feeling unfulfilled, that you're not getting there, you're not getting closer. Your goals are not supposed to make you miserable. Ensure that you're not shooting yourself in the foot by setting goals. It should not be that you are now more unhappier now that you have set goals, rather than happier because you are about to do something that will probably change your life. The myth of unhappiness in goal setting should be demolished from your mind, okay? So I know you're familiar with setting SMART goals. I even made a video about SMART goals. I have one goal setting video where I talked about how to set SMART goals, and they are great. I discovered a better approach, which is setting smarter goals. Yes, smarter goals. So I'm going to use an example of my goal wanting to be starting a tech career, and I'm going to try to explain all of the words in the acronym SMARTER so you just get it. Okay, so let's go. So S is specific. Now you have to be specific about the goal that you want to achieve. You don't have to be vague. You don't need to just say things without necessarily putting context or putting quantity to what you want. So a good example is, instead of saying I want to start a tech career, you can say I want to be a front-end developer. You can say I want to be a smart contract developer by December. It is more specific. So your goals have to be specific and not vague. M stands for measurable. Now you're supposed to measure your progress, but beware of perfection. Progress over perfection, okay? Your goals should be measurable. Let's use the same example that we have been using. How do I want to track my goal of becoming a smart contract developer by December? I can say that, okay, I would have completed 3 courses, I would have built 10 smart contracts. That is a way for you to be able to measure your progress. Now remember that progress doesn't have to be linear. It doesn't have to be in a specific way. It doesn't have to go from this to this to this. A is achievable. You need to ask yourself if those goals are actually achievable. Do not be unrealistic. Please, do not be unrealistic. If you have a full-time job, would you necessarily be able to give in 40 hours working towards that particular goal? If it's not achievable, you can cut it down to 10 hours. Say 10 hours every week, put into that goal. So ensure that your goals are achievable. Now, the other letter, R, stands for relevant. Is this relevant to the big picture of who I want to become? Is this relevant to where I am going to as a person, like my life ambition? In the case of a tech career, is being a smart contract developer relevant to the trends in technology? You need to ask yourself those questions while setting goals. T stands for time bound. Ensure that you actually put a deadline. Now, the deadline is not a death sentence. The deadline should not give you unnecessary pressure, but it is very important that you set a timeline that you intend to achieve that goal, so that when the time is getting closer, you'll be able to look back and say, why have I not gotten to this place yet? Now, SMART stands for smart. Remember, I said I am now setting smarter goals. So what is letter E and letter R? In my previous goal setting video, I really went in depth on how to actually create smart goals. But now, this remaining 2 letters, ER, is the game changer for me. And this is actually what helped me to begin to set better goals. Now, what does E stand for? E stands for evaluate. This is actually the missing link for me. So I have this habit of setting goals maybe towards the end of the year or at the beginning of the year. But then one thing I failed to do, or one thing I used to fail to do, was to evaluate. So the right way to go about goal setting is that in the middle of the month, or maybe monthly, it could be weekly, it could be daily, it could be quarterly, or whatever time frame that you're going to set, ensure that you evaluate your goals. Ensure that you go back to look at your goal. In fact, one tip that I learned recently that is actually very important is to ensure that your goals are in front of you. Now, one of the mistakes I used to make is, after setting my goals, I'll probably put them in the book that I wrote them down, and I forget about it till next year. So when the year is over, I go back and I check and I see that, oh, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. And then that is where vision board comes in. But then even with vision board, if you create a vision board but you do not go back to look at the vision board, you're going to forget. So there are 2 things. There's a part of forgetting your goals, and it happens to a lot of us. We actually forgot that we set this thing as a goal. We only remember when it is the timeline, like when is the end of the year. So it's very important that you keep your goals in front of you all the time. Then the second part is to evaluate. That is where milestones come in. Ensure that you have things that can actually help you track your progress. So when it comes to breaking down the goals into very smaller bits, to setting milestones that you use to check whether you're making progress with those goals, all of those things are under evaluate. So please do not just set goals. Ensure that you evaluate your goals from time to time to ensure that you are on the right track. R stands for reward. Please, when you set goals, ensure that you add a reward to your goal. It could be do something that you want to do for yourself. It could be buy something for yourself. It could be anything, but it's actually very important you set a reward and actually give yourself that reward after you complete that goal. What this does for your brain is that it gives you a sense of accomplishment. It makes you feel good, makes you feel better, and next time you're going to set goals and actually pursue implementing that goal, you'll feel more motivated, more energized to actually do it. Now, sometimes we just set goals, we even smash those goals, but then we don't reward ourselves, and after a while you feel like you've not necessarily done anything, but you've actually done a lot of things, but your brain cannot recognize that you've done anything special, because you did not reward yourself in any way, you did not celebrate yourself in any way. So as much as it's good to set goals and do all of this good stuff, ensure that you are rewarding yourself. Please, you've tried, reward yourself, okay? I hope Smarter helps you the next time you want to set your goals. Now, 3 practical things to actually help you achieve your goals. Number 1 is set a consistent schedule. Do not just set your goals and throw them in the book or on the notepad like I used to do. Ensure that you put your goals into your schedule. Break your goals down into actionable steps and put it inside of your schedule. If you're somebody that uses the calendar app, maybe Google Calendar or any other calendar app, ensure that you put down your goals there so that you see them every day. So yes, create a particular schedule for that goal, and please make sure you put a time. Do not just say I'm going to do this today. Ensure that you put a time that you want to do it, and ensure that you respect yourself enough to follow through with the time that you set. Okay. Number 2 is to track your progress. So you can use apps like Trello, Notion, Google Tags to track your goals. Just have something that you can use to move around when you are pursuing your goals. It's just nice to have everything arranged in a way that you can actually follow through with what is going on in your life. So yeah, you could use those tools to track your goals, to track your progress. Number 3 is to surround yourself with like-minded people. It could be a community, it could be your friends, or people that are also on the journey to pursuing that particular goal that you are going after. It's going to help. You guys would encourage each other, you guys would support each other. It doesn't have to be a group of people. It could be one or two persons around you. So it's very important that you have people that are around you for encouragement. In those days where you don't feel like doing anything, they would encourage you to keep moving. Okay. Now, setting your goals without systems is like creating wishes. You're just wishing. I wish I could do this. I wish I could get this. And what happens to wishes? There's a very popular quote that I used to hear in secondary school. It says, if wishes were horses, beggars would ride. So do not just create wishes. Actually put systems that ensures that you see those things come to life. Okay? I'm rooting for you. I wish you all the best in your goal setting journey. Please do well to share any other tips you have in the comment below. And if you're not already subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe. I post very insightful videos around tech, personal development, and all of those good stuff every week. So yeah, please do well to subscribe and like this video if you found it useful. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.